What's up, YouTube? With the NFL season right around the corner, I thought I would do my predictions on how the NFL standings are going to shake up. I like to do this for NFL and NBA just to see, what I think is going to happen and then compare it, contrast it with how the actual standings shake up once the season's actually done. You're about to see my predictions from last year. Yeah, here we are. So AFC South, I said Texans, Jaguars, Colts, and Titans. How did everything actually end up shaking out? It was Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. Okay, I think everyone could have saw the Titans are going to have an awful year. Really only flipped the Jaguars and the Colts. AFC North, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. Bengals kind of had a down year. I guess, they're always dealing with injuries, I feel like. Plus their defense isn't really the best. But Ravens, I knew Ravens were going to have a big year. Steelers, the Steelers are going to steal, man. They're going to somehow make it above 500 like they always do with not really, the best team. But same with the AFC South. Looks like I flipped the 2 and the 3. To be honest, I don't know what I was thinking with the AFC East. I don't know why I had the Bills at 3. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously Josh Allen goes on to have an MVP season. Clearly that I was way off. Couldn't tell you what I was thinking. Because they finished at the top of the division. The second best record in the AFC. So really don't know what I was thinking with there. Dolphins didn't even make it to 500. Jets, I thought, with Aaron Rodgers fully healthy, they would do something. But, the Jets, they have to be like the most cursed franchise in the NFL. And AFC West, I think I got that 100% right. Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. Broncos really surprised me. Who knew Bo Nix was going to be as good as he was? Certainly not me. NFC South, I said Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints, then Panthers. So I was way off. I thought with the Falcons having Kirk Cousins that they were going to have a good year. I knew the Buccaneers were going to be one of the top teams in that division. And then Panthers and Saints, they tied. They were both 5 and 12. I thought, the Panthers were going to have maybe 4 wins. I think 4 to 6 was what I imagined them actually having, but they get 5. So it's a step up from the year prior. And the Saints, 5 and 12 too. Yeah. We'll get to the Saints later when I actually do the standings. NFC North, I said Lions, Packers, Bears, and Vikings. Dude, I had no clue the Vikings were gonna come out and be as good as they were. Sam Darnold has one good year as a starter. That wasn't on my bingo card for last year. That really surprised me. I was kind of on the Caleb Williams hype train. To be honest, I thought the Bears were going to be better than a 5 and 12. Caleb Williams, promising, #1 pick. They surrounded him with a bunch of weapons. So I really thought they were going to do something, but their offensive line was trash. It was so bad. They just couldn't protect him. But yeah, Lions 15-2, best record in the NFC. Knew the Eagles were going to be the best team. Commanders, they also surprised me. Did not expect Jaden Daniels to be as good as he was. Cowboys, full disclosure, I'm a Cowboys fan. So to everyone who's still here watching the video, hasn't clicked off, I knew we were gonna have a down year just because we didn't have a running back. So the offense is going to be kind of one-dimensional. But I thought the Commanders and Giants were going to be so bad that we would be in second place. But clearly the Commanders were a lot better. Still pretty salty about Dan Quinn leaving for the Commander's position, and then we'll talk more about Micah Parsons when I actually do the predictions for the NFC East. Can't believe Jerry Jones actually did it. He actually did it. And then NFC West, 49ers. I didn't expect them to be as riddled with injuries as they were. I mean, that's not something you think ahead of when you're like making predictions or like who's gonna be the best team. You're not counting on a team to have like an injury bug and just, you know, this season be decimated by injuries. So the Rams ended up being the best team. They tied the Seahawks at 10-7, but I guess the Rams just edged out the Seahawks. And the Cardinals are actually better than the 49ers. Huh, interesting. Okay, so let's actually get into my predictions. We'll go division by division. All right, so AFC South. Well, I can tell you who's gonna be the worst team. Tennessee Titans. I mean, Cam Ward, he looks great. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for that team. Wish him the best. I just don't think that they have enough around Cam Ward and the rest of the team to really keep him out, you know, last place in AFC South. Best team, I mean, it shouldn't change really. Houston Texans. There's not really a doubt about it. CJ Stroud should continue to, you know, carry the momentum of his past 2 seasons. But now, what do we do here? Jaguars at 2 or Colts at 2? Jaguars have the new coach, have some promise, something to, like, I guess, look forward to. But is that really, I don't know, give them the edge over the Colts? I would say it gives me enough hope to put them over the Colts. So let's do that. Jacksonville Jaguars at 2. I don't really trust Indianapolis. How the fuck do you spell Indianapolis? There we go. That should be right. I mean, yeah, I just don't trust Daniel Jones to be an adequate starter. We've seen him on the fucking Giants. Never really got done. Have one good year. We've seen what the Jaguars can be with Trevor Lawrence. They had that one good year under Doug Peterson, but that was about, you know, their peak under that head coach. So I think you just got to give the edge to the Jaguars. There's probably a good chance they won't be above 500. They could be in the mix for the wild card race, but I don't know. That's tough to say. I would say it's a pretty weak division. All right, so let's just move on ahead to the AFC North. This one's gonna be easy. Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. They put on a show last year. And I expect them to continue. There could be a chance that Derrick Henry, you know, shows a little signs of slowing down. You know, father time comes knocking. But number 2, I really hope they have like a bounce back year. Cincinnati Bengals. I want the Bengals to get back to the form they were in when they made the Super Bowl. Like that can't be their peak, right? They made the Super Bowl 2nd year of Joe Burrow's career, and they've struggled since. That can't be it, right? I would say that they're underachievers. They're underachievers for real, but they could be so good. The defense kind of wishy-washy, but you know. And I expect Pittsburgh Steelers to be 3rd, which gives the Bengals a step above, an edge above them, making the playoffs. Don't think the Bengals will be better than the Ravens. Not on a long shot. Ravens should be the best team in that division. And that leaves the Cleveland Browns, who will probably have another shot at getting them number 1 pick, whoever that will be. But for the Steelers, you know, like I said earlier, they should still be able to make a 500 record by the end of the year somehow. They'll probably go like 9-8, and make it just above 500 somehow, like they do every year. Let me get myself right for this one. All right, lesson learned. I don't know what I was on when I made my predictions last year, but it's Bills. Bills in this division, AFC East. That's gotta be this. Hopefully this is their year. Hopefully this is the year we see him in the Super Bowl. We need to see him in the Super Bowl, I feel like. And then who's here at number 2? That's the interesting question. We got Justin Fields with the Jets. Is that really gonna put him over the edge? I think the Dolphins will be here at number 2. And then New England. Patriots at number 3. How about that? Then the Jets. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any confidence in the Jets, really. I like the Patriots more than the Jets, just because I'm a fan of Drake May. I got Stephon Diggs, who hopefully he won't be, distraction and, hamper May's development. Dolphins, if Tua is able to stay healthy, they should, maybe get back to their form of where they were like 2 years ago. But that's really predicated on Tua staying healthy, not getting concussed. Because the dude's he has to be like one concussion away from having to like early retire. If he's not already. No man should really be having as many concussions as he does. Honestly, for the AFC West, I don't think much is going to change. I really don't think much is going to change here. Chiefs are still going to be the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is going to Patrick Mahomes. I think there is a possibility they could be number 2 in the division. Maybe they show some signs of slowing down. Maybe we could see a Charger at number 1, Chiefs at number 2. Maybe we could see Broncos at number 1. But I think of right now, I'm going to leave it as is. So let's go over to the NFC South. So, who I think is going to be number 1? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is clearly the best team in that division. There's no doubt about it, really. The 3 other teams in their division are rebuilding teams. Like, I'm going to go ahead and put this team here, but New Orleans Saints, they're definitely going to be the worst team. You could probably go ahead and make a bet that they're going to be the team selecting 1 overall in next year's draft. I could almost guarantee it. It's either between them or the Titans or the Browns. Like, yeah, they got a lot of like rebuilding to do. But then Falcons, you can make the case for them being number 2, but it's Michael Penix's first year as a starter. He has the reins to the team. It's like, what is he gonna do with his, what is he gonna do with this opportunity? I feel like it gives you a whole range of like possibilities. They could be like, a 9-8 team, or they could be like, 5-12. Who really knows? Would the Panthers be better than them though? Would the Panthers be better? I don't know. I really want Bryce Young to succeed, but I just can't. It's hard to imagine the Panthers really being in that second spot in their division. I just don't think they really have enough around them. They should be exciting. They'll definitely be a team to watch. I'm definitely rooting for them. I just, can't say with confidence that they'll be better than the Falcons. So NFC North, I'm gonna keep Detroit there. Like that shouldn't change. I'm gonna keep the Packers there. Jeez, I mean they just got better. They got the best pass rusher in the game now. What about these last 2 spots? Chicago, Minnesota. The Bears. Just don't know if they'll really make a next step like they should. Minnesota would be an interesting team too, because same with the Falcons, it will be JJ McCarthy's first year as a starter. So what's he going to do with the opportunity? I kind of like the Vikings better than the Bears though, because the Vikings made Sam Darnold look good. So who knows what Sam Darnold's going to do with his new team. But the Vikings last year were able to get it done. So now they have a new quarterback. Like I could see like Minnesota having like a Denver Broncos type season like last year, you know. Like they'll be like 10-7. I could see that happening. So let's get over to NFC East. Pains me to do this, but Dallas Cowboys, last in the division. I mean, I think with this trade, with them trading away Micah Parsons, they pretty much cemented themselves with being in that last spot in their division. Like before that trade, it was kind of up in the air. It could have gone either way. They could be 2, 3, 4. Washington should be up here. I like Dan Quinn as a head coach. I do kind of expect Jaden Daniels to take a step back. You know, maybe have a sophomore slump. That's just kind of like historically what we've seen, but from second-year quarterbacks. And the Giants are probably the hardest team to predict right now, because who knows how their season's going to go. They could either be like a 10-7 team, or they could be like a 5-12 team. They got the tools, but you know, they haven't really been able to get it done in the past. But it pains me to say this, I think they'll take a little step. They'll look better than they did last year. I mean, they were 3-14 last year. Yeah, I definitely think that they'll be better than that. I think the Cowboys, they'll be like maybe a 6-11 team. Maybe. I don't think they'll be like god awful. The defense definitely took a step back. There's no denying that. Like, I think they'll be better than a lot of like the bad teams. Like they'll win the games they should, but I think they'll struggle against real competition. Like I think they'll struggle against a team like the Broncos, or maybe a team like the Steelers, honestly. But there'll be teams like the Titans, Saints, and they might, you know, squeak out a few wins against some good teams. But I think this is how things will shake up for the NFC East, as much as it pains me to do it. All right, NFC West. I'm gonna leave the Cardinals there. I think they'll be the worst team in the NFC West. They just haven't like really shown me anything that proves otherwise. I think one should be obvious, barring any, you know, injuries to Matthew Stafford. We will have to monitor Stafford, because I think he's dealing with some like back injury, some like lingering back issue. Two, I feel like we can expect. I think we should have San Francisco have a bounce back year, and that leaves the Seahawks. You know, honestly, if the 49ers do bounce back, we could see them at number 1. We could see it. We could see them at number 1. These two teams could be switched. I don't know how the Seahawks season's going to go, though. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I'm going to highlight the teams that I think will be making the playoffs. So we're going to go ahead, highlight these 4 teams in the top spot of their division, because obviously they will make the playoffs. I'm going to highlight the 49ers too, because I feel like they will make the playoffs. So they'll get that wild card spot. I think the Packers definitely will. Should expect big things from Jordan Love. Hopefully he has, you know, he continues in the right direction. Commanders, we should see them as well. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yep. So that's the NFC for you right there. And then Bengals, I hope to see them in the playoffs. Chargers and Broncos. That should be it. That should be the playoffs right there. Highlighted yellow is the playoff teams. That's how I think the NFL is going to shake out. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions. Am I out of my mind? Am I a casual? Probably a little bit. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. Who's your favorite to win the Super Bowl? I would love to hear that. Who's your favorite? Who's your pick? That being said, I'm Stan Lebowski. Y'all take it easy, dudes. I'll catch you next time.